obviously, Kelly, these are huge numbers. Tell us a little bit more about what jobs you're expecting to fill and what impact these employees are going to have on the business.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. So we have 100,000 new full and part-time jobs. These jobs pay $15 per hour or more. They start with the same benefits on day one that I have, and they're going to play a huge role in helping us meet demand for customers. And in fact, a lot of these roles are at new buildings. This month alone at Amazon, we'll open up 100 new buildings across our network, and those are fulfillment centers, sortation centers, delivery stations. That's where we get your item out to you, the last mile of the package getting to your doorstep, and also at our air hubs. And so the roles are across those buildings, and we're both feel very fortunate that we're able to open new buildings at this time and to bring 100 new buildings to communities around the U.S., but then also to be adding jobs at the buildings that we have today across the fulfillment and sortation network.
Now, typically over the holiday season, Amazon does hire additional workers. How is this different? Are these permanent jobs as opposed to temporary holiday season slots?
Exactly. So these are permanent roles. Stay tuned on seasonal hiring because it's still early in the season, and I would expect that we would also potentially have roles to fill seasonally. But these are for individuals who are looking for, regular full-time or part-time jobs.
And tell us more about the locations of the 100 new buildings. Where are these new buildings going to be popping up?
Yeah, glad you asked. So, we had a building open last week in Florida. We have a new building in Spokane, Washington. So these, buildings are all around the U.S. And with the roles, it's quite a bit of jobs. Over 3,000 jobs in the Seattle area right now we have open, over 5,000 jobs in the Chicago area, which have a starting rate of $15 per hour or more. And we're offering also sign-on bonuses for individuals. Those range from $250 all the way up to $1,000 as people join. So we know there are so many impacted right now, given what's going on, where people are out of work. And these roles really span across most states in America. And anybody can learn more at amazon.com/apply.
Now, Amazon has faced a significant amount of criticism throughout the pandemic, especially from warehouse workers who've complained about working conditions. Some workers have felt unsafe. Some workers have said, they're not paid enough. There was a protest in front of Jeff Bezos's own home where workers were calling for $30 an hour as opposed to $15 an hour. What's your response to these workers' concerns?
Well, we take every concern seriously. So for me and the team who are on the front lines of hearing from individuals, one, we welcome the feedback. But two, I would say nothing has been more important than the safety of our teams since, for a long time, really, always, but particularly with the pandemic. We feel actually that we'd love to see a company who handled it more quickly than Amazon. We started early. We immediately hired an epidemiologist specialist who worked with our already existing safety team, for which we have thousands of members who already work on safety every day. We rolled out more than 150 process changes and improvements across our building. And, I can only really speak, again, for myself. I've been to several buildings since coronavirus started. I'm in the buildings quite regularly. It's quite frankly my favorite thing and place to be, being an Amazon employee now for over 8 years, is actually to be out in the field at our fulfillment centers, at our delivery stations with drivers. And the reality is the vast majority of employees feel like we're doing a great job. We have a mechanism at Amazon where we actually ask all employees, a question of the day. So every day when I start work, I get a question related to how I'm feeling about working at Amazon. That's nothing new, but during the pandemic, we have shifted, and the questions for the employees in our hourly network are all about the pandemic response and how they're feeling about working at Amazon right now, given everything that's going on. And our employees are playing such a vital role in serving their communities. And the reality and the facts show that well into the 90th percentile of employees, when asked How do you feel about Amazon's response to the pandemic? Do you feel safe at work? Do you have the PPE, the mask and supplies you need? The vast majority of respondents, well into the 90 percentile, feel extremely great about our response. And anytime we do get feedback, we respond and we work hard to be better. But nothing along the way has been more important than keeping our employees safe. And having gone to many of the buildings, I've seen that firsthand.